lot of movies to watch. I really appreciate you guys hanging out and talking.
Do we have a question for our guest? There's one right there in the striped shirt.
What are you making next?
What are you making next? The question on everyone's lips.
I am currently writing, I've got like 4 movies that I'm writing right now, but the one I'm probably most excited is a neo-noir western that I'm writing. So set in present day about 2 black brothers who go looking for their missing brother in the American Southwest.
TIFF 2025. Yes, behind that. Yes, go ahead, please.
Is the ending just you not being able to decide which ending to like?
I'm sorry, could you
The
repeat?
ending just you not being able to decide which ending to like?
He asked if the ending is just me not being able to decide which ending to write. No, so the ending of the novel is that first ending where he just walks up to the microphone and you have no idea what he's going to say, and that's how the novel ends. And to me, I think it's fine for a novel. There's a lot of interiority in a novel, and sort of it allows you to draw your own conclusions about what you're reading. And films sometimes too, but I think that would have been an incredibly unsatisfying way to end the movie. And so, but I also didn't want it to end with him coming up and giving some long rant and sort of like, excoriating the audience and saying you guys are all idiots. It just felt, so when we were deciding on the ending was the last part that I decided to write. And I already had an ending and everybody kind of agreed that it wasn't working, and me especially, I didn't think it was working. And so one day, one of the producers said, just go try to write something that feels as audacious as the rest of the film, right? Just try to write something that feels like it's a big swing like the movie is. And so I went away and sat down and just thought for a little bit, and I was really inspired by The Player. Robert Altman's, I'm a big Altman fan, and I really love The Player. It's one of my favorite of his. And there's that kind of meta ending in The Player. I don't know if you've seen it, but I was inspired by that and just came up with an ending that I wanted it to feel really meta and feel like, that this was a lived-in experience for everybody. So no, it wasn't just because I was indecisive. there was some ideas behind it. Yeah. I started with Jeffrey Wright. I love Jeff. I think Jeffrey's one of our greatest living actors. I've loved him since I saw him in Basquiat. He is so underutilized. I think that he's in these big movies, but he's never the center of them. He's in Batman, he's in 007, he's in these major things. But I always love him as a leading man. I've always thought he was just an incredible talent. And so when I was reading the novel, I actually started reading Monk's lines in Jeffrey's voice. I was imagining Jeffrey in the scenes. And so as soon as I was done with the script, I came to Jeffrey first. And I was so terrified and intimidated by him. It felt like, going to Michael Jordan and asking him to let you give him tips on jump shots. And it's like, who am I to go to Jeffrey Wright, who's working with all these incredible directors and has such this long storied career. But I think that, there's a lot of people who talk about helping artists on the fringe and helping sort of underappreciated and marginalized voices. But I think that sometimes people don't walk the walk, and I think that Jeffrey Wright, looking at me, having never written a movie, having never directed anything, and putting faith in me, really helped the project get off the ground. I think that until he signed on, people were still kind of apprehensive, but the minute he agreed to do it, everything became easier. So once he was on, the financiers were willing to come up with more money, and then there was, it became very easy to get other actors, because I think that once you say Jeffrey Wright's on something, then people's ears perk up a little bit, other actors' ears perk up a little bit. And so, Tracy Ellis Ross is amazing, Sterling K. Brown amazing, Eric Ellis, all of these people are amazing at their jobs, and I think that the thing that is so disappointing is that you want to see them in media roles. These actors don't get these kinds of roles all the time. People don't think of them for these parts, and I think that, to me, my God, I just felt so fortunate to get them. Like, I grew up watching Living Single and like loving Eric Alexander's match scene Sean with that and thinking like, this woman's wonderful. Why don't I see her in more stuff? And I just think that frequently, you know, it's kind of one of the things that the movie is about, is sort of like the idea that there is there's a lack of I would say there's a lack of imagination when it comes to what people think black actors can do and what parts that they are qualified for. And I think that that's incredibly disappointing, and I am just so delighted to put these people in the movie, because I mean, like Myra Lucretia Taylor, who plays Lorraine, is amazing, and Anthony Thomas is amazing. Like, these people should be in more movies, and they're not. So, you know, one of the things that I'm hoping to achieve with the movie is hopefully people watch it and rethink that decision, rethink the decision to put Jeffrey in the movie for 5 minutes. It's like keeping a Ferrari in the garage, you know? You gotta let the Ferrari out. Jeffrey Wright's the Ferrari.
I'll just repeat that, sorry. She's asking, this is an adaptation from a novel. Were you brought in to originally adapt it and then took it on, or was it yours from the beginning?
It was mine from the beginning. As soon as I was finished reading the book, I reached out to Percival Everett, who wrote the book, and I asked for his blessing to have the rights to the novel, and he gave them to me for free. And he said, you can have the rights for free for 3 months, write the script, and if anything comes of it, then we can talk about money after that. And so he very generously allowed me to do that. And then when I was done with the script, I just said that was it was a mandate of mine. I said that if you want this script, then I have to direct it. And I wasn't gonna let it out of my grips. I just really wanted to try my hand at it. Fortunately, people let me. And I'm forever grateful to the people who because I just think that this industry can be run so much by algorithms these days, data, and there's no data about my directing ability. There's no algorithm that suggests that I'd be a good director, and so a lot of people need to put trust in me and faith in me and my ability to do this, from Jeffrey to the financiers to the producers to everybody who worked on it. They all had to sort of put their faith in me and go into it blindly and hope that it worked out without any data to prove that it would. And I'm just forever grateful that they did.
I don't think anyone in this